Hello everyone, this is Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot. As discussed yesterday, I said I would come back on and read on the shutdown. It's not something that I want to do too often because there is the energy around it now is that it's at an impasse. At the end of the day, if it's not resolved, it's costing the economy. I think the latest figures are $1.5 billion a week. I found a useful article on the longest shutdown of the American government in its history, affecting around, as we know, about 800,000 federal employees. I just want to go through some figures because just so that we're all clear about this. So around 380,000 have been furloughed, which means that they cannot work without they cannot work or get paid. So even if they wanted to go and get a second job, they're prohibited from it. The other thing are the rest of those workers are deemed essential, which means that they're actually working without pay. So someone, I think, posted a comment saying X percentage of our governments of our departments are open. Well, they may well be opened, however, those workers aren't getting paid. So around 380,000 have been furloughed, okay, which means they're not working and they can't go and work anywhere else or get paid. So when we go also look at where they're located, more than 80% live outside the Washington, D.C. metro area. California tops the list with the highest number of federal workers. Now, we know the new governor there, Gavin Newsom, he moved to open up unemployment benefits to these workers. Now, the next states are Virginia, Texas, Maryland, and Florida. So some of that is cutting right into the Trump base, all right? So that would be interesting to see if someone was polling those workers and their families and the businesses that rely on them, what they think. Who are they blaming? Is the support for Trump dwindling? I'm sure the RNC has some sort of internal polling because they're wanting to move a motion to reaffirm the support for Donald Trump to stand again in 2020 because there are a number of likely challenges, including Romney, Flake, and Sass from Nebraska. So I really I wanted to go through those figures just so that we're all clear exactly who's working, who's not. But the bottom line is no one's getting paid. Out of those 800,000 people, no one is getting paid. Now, some of my viewers, God bless their cotton socks, have sent me through some links in addition. So thank you for doing that. Now, the latest state of affairs in the Congress, as you know, the Democrats are continually moving bills forward to open the government again, and they're not getting past Mitch McConnell in the Senate. Now, Trump made an announcement, proposed a deal, which is nothing new to what he's already proposed. Democrats have said no. McConnell is now putting all of that into a bill, and he's going to bring that before the Senate, despite the fact that there have been no talks with the Democrats on this particular bill. So much for bipartisanship. Now, it's unlikely that pundits are saying that it's unlikely that bill will be approved. Remember, there's 60 votes needed in the Senate, and then it has to go down and pass the House. And as we know, the Democrats have got the majority in the House. So why is McConnell doing this when he knows that bill isn't going to pass? It's simply to put the blame on the Democrats. Okay, so the feeling that I'm getting around the government shutdown is that there is an impasse. So I'm going to ask today, having said all of that, what will it take for the government to reopen? The government of America costing $1.5 billion a week. The corporates, the business people in Switzerland at that summit now have Davos have actually expressed growing alarm at this. So there would be, as I said in a previous reading, the cards indicated that these type of people would be putting potential donors in the past and in the future would be putting pressure on the GOP. So, given all of that, what will it take? What will it take for the US government to reopen? I'll just bring the laptop down. Okay, what will it take? What will it take for the US government to reopen? I think, unfortunately, it's going to take some kind of trouble. It's going to take some kind of alarming thing to occur, a near miss, whatever. It's going to take something like that for the two sides to get together and really nut out a solution to this. So, because Trump's not going to cave in, is he? We know that. He's not going to cave on this one, nor are the GOP. So what will it take? What will it take? What can I tell them, Spirit? What will it take, okay, for the government to reopen? What will it take for the US government to reopen? Okay, so God. Straight away, the signifier card here is the Nine of Wands, and as we know, this person's looking fairly battle weary here. So it's really, the energy around this card is there is a bit of a way to go here. Okay, we are at the impasse, both sides. I think more so the GOP are looking, and Trump are looking fairly battle weary. But it's also around persistence, and it's testing everybody. It's testing the courage of the Democrats in maintaining their I guess position, and it's also testing Trump and testing the GOP. They're in government, so ultimately the responsibility is on them. They shut the government down. And Trump shut the government down, and ultimately he will bear the responsibility for this. This card is aligned with Trump's energy at the moment. And what's crossing them? Okay, it is the loss. It is the loss of money that is there. That is the challenge for them to keep maintaining this position. It's the loss, as I said, $1.5 billion a week. It's also the loss of new income streams. So what America might have been, it's almost like the wheels of government business, and everything that the government generates is really has ground to a halt. This is also the incomes of the workers, okay? The furloughed workers, the workers who are working without pay. Let's not distinguish the 800,000 people who are going without pay. What is at the bottom of this? What is the foundation of this reading? Loans and debts here. Giving and receiving help. Okay, so one thing I haven't considered in this reading is how this is affecting the US national debt. And that may be something that this card is pointing to, because it is the foundation of the reading. Obviously, money is here. Is at the bottom? Is really at the bottom of this reading? But we ask, what will it take? So let's proceed with the reading. Okay, in the past we've got the Knight of Swords coming through, and I really do think that one aspect of this, of my readings anyway, in the past has been this: the Democrats took the Congress. The Democrats took the Congress. Now, sorry, took the House. Took the House. Now, we know that when that occurred in the midterms, we know that that Trump really retreated into his shell. He really, I guess, we saw him on the world stage. He was like a spoilt child. He is out of control. There is no two ways. Let me make that clear. Trump is out of control, and nobody in the GOP is holding him to account. Not yet, anyway. So in the past, this is reflecting the Democrats taking of the House. And what that did for Trump, remember, we're dealing with someone who has potentially some, quite serious issues around the way that he thinks and his actions or lack of thought and his reactivity. I think this kind of tested his strength, and so the government shutdown is related to the midterm defeat for Trump. It's kind of tied up in that, and it's like we must show our strength. We must beat the Democrats, and that's what it's come down to. Trump and the Republicans trying to beat the Democrats and then somehow atone for that loss. Really, 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 Okay, so what is in relation to the, the present situation here? We've got the King of Wands. Now that's an interesting card. So at the moment, it is this battle around who's in charge. What will it take? So really, who's in charge? The Democrats, are they going to have their win, or is it the GOP? Because this is really who's top dog. Okay, that's what it's all about. Who's top dog? Remembering post midterms, who is top dog? Dear God in heaven. Now, in the immediate future, we've got the Knight of Pentacles coming forward, and this is really quick thinking and change. Okay, now that's interesting. This is also hard work and reliability and hard work as well. But also some kind of offer coming forward, some kind of monetary offer coming forward. So in the near future, is this the legislation that they're going to debate, Trump's legislation? Is that what they're going to debate in the near future? Because this is a monetary offer, which would seem to point to, we asked what it's going to take. It's a monetary offer, and look, I do think that it's down to the negotiation table as well. Some kind of monetary offer on the part of the Democrats and on the part of the Republicans that Trump will accept. The actual, situation at stake, is the really around. This is the Ten of Cups, and this is around the support on both sides that is needed, if you think about it, to reopen the government. So unfortunately what this is saying is that at some point the Democrats are going to have to come to the table because the environment is this. The environment around the situation is this really. When I look at this card, this is like extreme worry for over a situation. So this, I guess, what this is saying, that card is saying, is that we shouldn't become numb to the fact that government is shut down, because this is the real situation. This is what we've got to bear in mind all the time. That is the situation with every day. With every week, that is the situation. And the hopes and the fears. Okay, so again, this is pointing to the impasse between the two parties. So we've got the circle of supports. How can there be any breakthrough? So each side, is hoping that they will be supported, that they will win. As I said, this is really a battle between who's going to win, and it's as a result of the Democrats taking the House. It's really almost like I'm just seeing a fault line opening up, a rupture, because we've got someone as insane, if I can say that, insane in the way that he thinks and the way that he reacts, sitting in the president's chair. And the outcome of this is the Lovers, okay? So this is, what will it take? Now, we ask, what will it take? What will it take, the Lovers? What will it take? It's going to take. It's actually going to take. I've just got an update on the computer which I'll get rid of. It's actually going to take them coming together to negotiate some kind of offer. The situation's quite dire, if I can say that. That's that's really the environment. One of the major reasons it's so dire is that it's the monetary aspect of the government shutdown. With each passing day, with each passing week, the losses are extreme. $1.5 billion. $1.5 billion that's what the shutdown is costing each week. So I think what week are we into now? Is it 3 weeks? Going into 4? Viewers, please let me know. But you can do the maths on that. So it's going to take them coming together, and it's the Democrats at some point let's ask the question. The Democrats will do a quick yes, no. Are the Democrats going to come to the negotiating table? Offer him something. How's it? That's what it's going to take to reopen the government. Unfortunately, it's going to take some kind of. The night is not a huge. It's a smaller offer. So, are the Democrats going to offer him something to get the government open again? How's this all going to? We asked what will it take. We know that's what it's going to take according to these cards. Are the Democrats going to come to the negotiation table, offer him something? Are the Democrats going to come to the negotiation table and offer him something? I'll bring this down. Okay, so we've got the Star of Hope. So just before I drew these cards, I had a slight feeling that that the Democrats were actually planning. They're planning and strategizing at the moment about how they can go about this. It's really about facing the truth. It's really about facing the truth that unless someone steps forward to offer him something, that the government isn't going to open anytime soon. There's judgment around this now. The judgment, I think, is I think that the vast majority of people want the Democrats to stand firm. I think that's what that is saying. They want them to stand firm on the truth of the situation, because they see that as a way to really get on top of Trump, to hold him accountable. And this is the card of the Nine of Pentacles, which of course is self-governing. Self-governing. The hope is that they will get on top of Trump and be able to hold him accountable. That's why they were elected in the way they were. That's why the result was there in the midterms. But of course, none of that is going to help help the workers who are either furloughed or working without pay. They're going to be showing strength. It's mirroring the prying things open, the truth, trying to get to the truth. They're going to, I think, be sticking to their guns. But unfortunately, we have the Seven of Pentacles, which is really around delayed success and waiting for results. So the impasse is shown here. It's mirroring the Judgment card. So they've decided they're in for the long haul. In other words, they're hopeful that if they put enough pressure on Trump and the GOP, that eventually that they will open the government. So we've got celebrations here. That's interesting. Let's keep going. We've got abundance. We've got the abundance card here coming here. And we've got the King of Cups, okay, and this is the healer. The King of Cups in this sense is the healer. Again, pulling these major arcanas. And we've got the new starts coming here, mirroring the abundance card. And of course we've got the Democrats themselves holding the sword of truth. This reading is showing that according to these cards, the Democrats are going to hold out. They're still going to hold out, and they are going to hold out at this point in time until Trump caves in. Now, or if he will cave in. So I don't see them at this point as of today. They don't appear to want to come to the negotiation table. So in that case, given that there's that small monetary offer, that because we asked what will it take, not what does happen to open the government. We said what will it take? It will take some sort of smaller offer. So let's have a look. Is Trump going to cave in, come down in with that offer, and eventually the Democrats will accept it? Is that the scenario we're looking at? So let's ask a quick yes, no. Just give them a good shuffle. Remember, we've got a battle here. Win, lose, win, lose. So is Trump going to cave? Is he going to cave, propose a smaller offer? Is that how this is going to end? Is Trump going to cave in the end? Trump and the GOP going to cave in the end? Is Trump going to cave in and put forward a smaller offer? Wow. Okay. Got the Queen of Cups coming forward here. Okay. Now the Queen of Cups is, as you know, queens are all about stability. And this, potentially is some kind of offer, an offer to stabilise conditions. Justice. Okay, is it justice that Trump comes forward with this much smaller offer and really, really gets a good kick? Okay, and we've got the 10 of Cups here, and that is around support. So it seems like there may well be support for any new lower offer. Really, this is all about driving Trump into the holding his feet to the flame and isolating him as much as possible. Okay, these are some of the tactics that are coming forward here. In relation to justice, we at the back of all this is that this is representing the Trump presidency. This is secrets, treachery, you name it. I don't need to describe that because you know it, and it is about bringing justice into the situation. And mirroring the 10 of Cups, of course, which again is this, support and really reunions. It's the coming together. We've got the Queen of Swords, which of course, some say, it's my Democrat card often, but it's also the Nancy Pelosi card, as some would say. So we've got some major arcana here. We've got justice. It's quite interesting reading. Let me just bring this up here. We've got Trump being isolated. Okay. We've got justice. It's justice, and why? Because of the treachery that has been so characteristic of Trump's presidency. Let's make no mistake about it. This is actually any number of the players involved. It's impacting on them all in this way. Mirroring this, potentially this offer to stabilise things. is really around getting the support to reopen the government. So we're talking here about, will Trump come forward with a smaller offer that the Democrats could then accept. And we've got the Lovers here, okay, so that's interesting. Major Arcana. Will Trump, provide a smaller offer that the Democrats can accept to get the government open? But in the meantime, really, he's been kicked to the curb as a result of all this. And we've got the King of Pentacles, which is my trump card here. But it's also about it's not only Donald Trump being the King of Pentacles, but this is also about I think the government, the Treasury. This is around the money that's being lost there. Okay. And the harvest withering on the vine. Let me just see if I can draw another, get some confirmation here, because it's pretty line ball. Not for a while yet. And potentially, this is the three of wands. There's going to be a whole lot more communication. So eventually, there's going to be a whole lot more backroom communication. Could be the GOP senators pulling away. As I mentioned at the start of this reading, the motion is coming forward from the RNC to reaffirm support for Donald Trump. Harvest withering on the vine. I think this is pretty much the presidency. Uphill battles and potentially more backroom talk. Look, this reading is showing that Donald Trump may eventually come down some more, which may be what gets the Democrats to the table. But in doing that, whip him. Well, there's that saying, whip his. I hate to put it like this, because there's 800,000 people not being paid. But this is what it's interesting to do this reading, because I think this is really what's at stake here. It's a win-lose thing. It's retribution for the midterms. It's trying to put the Democrats in their place. It's a reflection of a sad, sad state of things at the moment, where you've got this far-right winged element in power. This is in the playbook. This is how they play, and they play at the expense of others. So what this, in summary, is, well, I'm not going to go back through the reading. You guys and girls, you can make your own judgments and use your own intuition. But I think at the end of the day, there will be I guess a very serious situation developing, which may mean that Trump might come forward with a smaller offer. But it will have to go through that process until that happens, and that smaller offer might be enough to get the Democrats, who are very concerned about those workers, might get them to the table, because otherwise it may be that it will keep going on. Now, do they want to really take 800 workers into freefall in order to have a total victory, or will they, as I said, do enough damage to Trump in the process and decide to come to the table with that smaller offer? So I'm not seeing that happen straight away, but I think that's eventually what will happen. But in the meantime, things are getting quite perilous, and that's really what is going to break the impasse at the end of the day. So I hope you've enjoyed that reading. These aren't easy readings to do, because we're talking about people's livelihoods here, and families, and food stamps not getting through. And at the end of the day, what we're seeing is this win-lose strategy driven by Donald Trump and the GOP, and the Democrats being forced into a position of saying, okay, don't hold us don't hold us hostage. If we cave in this time, you will do this again. So there's an element of lesson teaching here to Donald Trump and the GOP, and unfortunately, the furloughed workers, the workers working without pay, are the victims. So it's if people are growing numb to this shutdown, the caution here is not to. There's we've got those cards, and they're talking about really, really severe worry. So I think I don't know the shutdown in terms of the news cycle, but it is easy to say, okay, well, it's government shutdown, and some people are back at work. They're back at work, but they're not being paid. So I guess, But I'll leave it there. You've seen today my cards and my take and my intuition on the situation. Please use your own, and please come forward with some comments, any insights that you have. They are more than welcome. And I've had so many comments come through to say that people are really enjoying the comments in the commentary section. So, please let us hear what you've got to say. So thank you again, and I will talk again soon. Thank you.